Welcome to our home, Columbia, capital of South Carolina, a city of innovation, industry, beautiful parks, thriving culture, a little bit of everything. And at the heart of it, that's where you'll find us, the University of South Carolina. We've got a beautiful campus for sure, but the best part is it has no borders really, because the university is woven into the city. Columbia is our classroom, big enough that you can do anything, small enough that you won't get lost. Our professors work and lead in their fields, and no matter what you're passionate about, it's at your doorstep. Then, when class is over, the whole world is yours, with the mountains 2 hours away in one direction, the beach 2 hours in the other. And if you want to go global, the airport is 15 minutes away. So come to Columbia to study, work, live, and play. It's the only place in South Carolina where you can do it all, where you can pursue your college career and your career, where you don't have to move to go the extra mile. That's living your best college life. Columbia life.
Well, just watching that video with everybody having fun without masks, you kind of lament you can't wait to get back to those days. Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm President Bob Caslen, and we are excited to gather today in the Russell House Ballroom in the Student Union of the University of South Carolina. Today, I'm happy to extend a warm welcome to the SAC COC on-site review team, and thank you to the faculty members, our faculty senators, our board of trustees, our staff, our students, and our administrative team who helped make this possible today. Special thanks also to our speakers and to Chairman Dorn Smith and Chancellor Susan Elkins for joining us today. Today we're here to share more about Experience by Design, our next Quality Enhancement Plan. We think it is fitting to be presenting the QEP at the Student Union in the heart of the Columbia campus, which is the primary location for student engagement. We are also excited to include our regional Palmetto College campuses of Lancaster, Salkehatchie, Sumter, and Union as part of our QEP implementation. Experience by Design will focus on supporting all students to be meaningfully engaged in quality beyond the classroom experiences and to reflect on the significance of their learning. We want our students to see how their experiences here at the University of South Carolina connect to their personal, academic, and their professional goals. Through a robust number of beyond the classroom experiences stemming from the curricular and co-curricular setting, such as peer leadership, undergraduate research, internships, community service, and study abroad, just to name a few, our students will be well prepared with the knowledge and skills that will lead to promising careers, service within their communities, and curiosity as lifelong learners. Experience by Design is intended for all students, and many of the interventions will focus on the student populations that we know experience lower graduation and retention rates than expected, and those that are also found to be less engaged. Therefore, Experience by Design will serve as a means to promote opportunity equity for all students. We believe that engagement will lead students to be successful at the University of South Carolina. Experience by Design extends efforts from our first QEP, USC Connect, with an emphasis on integrative learning and the success in the Graduation with Leadership Distinction program. Today, in our socially distant space, we have a variety of campus stakeholders in attendance, and we all have Experience by Design masks. Several faculty and staff are present that help to lay the framework for our new QEP by participating on subcommittees and providing feedback in stakeholder sessions. Executive leadership is also present to demonstrate our commitment to ensure the success of Experience by Design. And students are here to express their support for the new direction that our QEP will bring them. And their feedback was instrumental in defining how we will support them to be engaged moving forward. In addition, Experience by Design aligns well with our recently established strategic plan for South Carolina, a plan for excellence. As we seek to accomplish our vision to be the preeminent flagship university in the nation, we continue to be guided by our strategic plan, and we recognize the important role we have in the state as a member of this community and flagship for higher education. We are not only the University of South Carolina, but we are also the university for South Carolina. In fact, priority number one in our strategic plan states that we will strive to attract, inspire, challenge, and enable our students to become innovative thinkers and transformative leaders. The student experience is critical to fulfilling this priority and accomplishing the mission of the University of South Carolina to transform lives of the people of our state and our nation. As we move forward, we will continue to revisit the progress of the QEP as defined through our stated student success and learning metrics. This analysis and discussion will allow us to adapt our plan to help ensure students are benefiting from these efforts. We expect Experience by Design to be the hallmark component of the University of South Carolina degree. This program will help set us apart from our peers as a unique opportunity for students to engage in quality beyond the classroom experiences and to meaningfully reflect on their learning. We look forward to connecting with you over the next few days as we share our plan and engage in helpful discussions to support the formal launch of our new QEP later in 2021. We will now transition to showing a video describing Experience by Design in a little bit more detail. Thank you very much. Welcome to the University of South Carolina. I'm University President Bob Caslen. In 2020, we unveiled a strategic plan that implores us to attract, inspire, challenge, and enable our students to become innovative thinkers and transformative leaders. This effort requires all of us, every student, faculty member, and staff member system-wide, to rise to new levels of excellence and create academic experiences that go far beyond the classroom. The Quality Enhancement Plan reflects our strategic commitment to an accessible and inclusive academic environment. We call it Experience by Design.
The University of South Carolina develops future leaders through transformational educational experiences. We prepare our students for college success right from the start. We are a leader in supporting educational equity, but we're ready to do more. Experience by Design aims to help every student make the most of their college experience. We want every Gamecock to be ready for their shot at a bright future. Learning beyond the classroom teaches our students to dig for answers. They push themselves and test their knowledge. They learn to serve others and work together to reach high goals. They find their own beat. They discover a world of possibilities. And their confidence on the field becomes confidence in their field. They learn to shine on the biggest stages wherever they may be. They meet today's challenges with determination to prepare for tomorrow's opportunities. We strive to make every moment count to mold our students into future leaders. Students who are more involved on campus build stronger relationships with faculty and staff and find greater enjoyment in their college experience. They are more attractive to employers because they know how to reflect and grow from their experiences. They have more confidence in their career paths. They are more prepared to join the workforce and have higher earnings. We are committed to reaching every student on U of SC's Columbia and Palmetto College campuses. We will remove barriers to help every Gamecock succeed.
Good afternoon. Thank you, President Caslen, for setting the stage and for welcoming the SAC COC on-site review team and our campus community to join us this afternoon, including those individuals that are joining us in person as well as virtually. The support from executive leadership and the campus stakeholders is awesome to see. My name is Amber Faluka, and I serve as Director of the Quality Enhancement Plan and Associate Director for the Center for Integrative and Experiential Learning. Throughout the last 2 years, we have completed extensive outreach and facilitated stakeholder sessions to help determine our new direction. We have decided to build upon our first Quality Enhancement Plan, USC Connect, and the lessons learned from the Graduation with Leadership Distinction program and its emphasis on integrative learning. This award-winning program continues to thrive, and it is a truly an awesome example of how QEP initiatives can be sustained past a specific accreditation cycle. Since 2013, we have supported approximately 400 graduates each year in the program, with more than 2,300 graduates since its inception. Students self-select themselves into the program, and this distinction is recognized on undergraduates' transcripts and diplomas, and they receive special cords for graduation. Each semester, a combination of Center for Integrative and Experiential Learning advisors, trained faculty fellows, and University 401 course instructors guide students as they craft their e-portfolios and find connections between their within and beyond the classroom experiences. The e-portfolio, the final reflection and capstone component of the program, is often the most difficult yet rewarding component of the program. Back, please. Back, please. There are several positive takeaways from USC Connect, but through our data, we found there are some opportunities to advance our efforts, and that really helped to inform our direction for Experience by Design. First, this includes the finding that not all of our students are engaged in meaningful beyond the classroom activities, such as high-impact practices, in the same way, and that we can identify the trends for the students who are and are not participating through our established tracking and catalog system. Secondly, we also found that at times reflection skills were emphasized late in students' careers, and that they could be improved as a result if they were emphasized early in their career as opposed to in capstone courses and e-portfolio only. We learned that reflection can really help them and think about where they're going next in their lives. An analogy here can be made to learning a new sport. The time required to perfect the tennis backhand or basketball jump shot speaks to muscle memory and repetition. We see a familiar path for reflection in that we want to help students learn the methods to reflect and then practice these skills throughout their time at the University of South Carolina. They can then exit having developed a lifelong learning skill to benefit them personally and professionally after graduation. We are thankful to the university community that participated in the feedback sessions. Through numerous student focus groups, faculty senate meetings, meetings with student affairs and other student support offices, and the QEP forums, we feel that Experience by Design represents the institutional culture and needs and goals that we have identified, including having strong alignment with the university's strategic plan. It should be noted that we held our last QEP forum the week before spring break in March 2020, here in this same building. Similar to many of our peer institutions, this time frame was a turning point for everyone as it relates to COVID-19. And so we feel lucky that we completed this last major feedback session prior to moving the campus to primarily virtual classes and services. We were able to continue completing the spring 2020 pilot project focused on emphasizing reflection into curricular and co-curricular settings, including collecting data to inform the study findings. We were also able to successfully launch the fall 2020 pilot projects, including seeking feedback from Palmetto College faculty, graduate students, and employers about the QEP intentions. We also piloted the QEP rubric in curricular and co-curricular settings. Collectively, these projects helped us to fine-tune our plan. Next slide, please. Beyond the classroom experiences originating from the curricular and co-curricular environment are significant components of a University of South Carolina education. We look forward to enhancing the quality of these experiences we provide to students here on the Columbia campus, as well as the 4 campuses of Lancaster, Salkehatchie, Sumter, and Union. This includes an emphasis on reflection to help students make meaning of what they learn and connect the experiences to personal, professional, and academic goals. One example of this real-world application learning was delivered to the SAC COC on-site review team as part of their QEP materials. Beyond the tumbler and notebook, we hope you enjoy the U of SC branded soap that you received. There is a story behind this soap. Volunteer students work with the Director of Environmental Health and Safety, Tom Seifert, and campus dining services to gather leftover food from the dining halls to help make biodiesel. The students then create soap from the biodiesel and as such are able to generate marketable items with the U of SC logo. Students utilize the knowledge and skills learned through the coursework and real-world applications to develop the soap, as well as to market and sell the soap through their own Etsy website. The students continually receive feedback and guidance from Tom and therefore have the opportunity to think about how this experiential learning relates to their academic, personal, and professional goals. These are prime examples of what we want to see occur through Experience by Design. Next slide. While we want all students to be engaged meaningfully and beyond the classroom experiences, we will be focusing our resources in supporting the student populations that we believe will be impacted most. These include Pell-eligible, transfer students, underrepresented minority, and male students. Our own data shows that these populations are less engaged and also are not retained at the same rate as other populations. Graduate students will also be emphasized in the QEP as our feedback sessions continually brought back a goal to include them in efforts to support their academic and professional development through beyond the classroom engagement as part of their graduate studies. Next slide. We have established a multi-tiered assessment plan focusing on collecting and analyzing data across indirect and direct measures and across national and localized sources. We look forward to reviewing the analyzed data on a regular basis and making informed decisions to ensure a successful QEP and that we are delivering on the promise to our stakeholders, including our students, faculty, and staff. Next slide. We are excited to launch our next QEP as we see Experience by Design as a sustainable initiative that will become a hallmark component of the University of South Carolina degree. We envision Experience by Design helping to recruit students to our campus as they see the number and variety of experiences afforded to them. The mentorship they receive from faculty and staff will lead to positive learning experiences that will contribute to their likelihood to be retained year to year. And lastly, as graduates, they will be workforce ready and prepared to land in promising jobs aligned with their academic training and professional goals, as they have reflected on the why throughout their time at the University of South Carolina. Our students will be prepared to be strong citizens in their communities and contribute to greater societal goals due to the experiences fostered here with us. Thank you again for joining us today. At this point, I will turn it over to Laura Ducate to discuss in more detail about our infrastructure and dedicated resources for the next Quality Enhancement Plan.
Thank you, Amber. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today as we introduce Experience by Design. I'm Laura Ducate, and the Faculty Executive Director for the Center for Integrative and Experiential Learning. I'm excited to be able to share with you a little background about our office, some details about how we expect to implement the QEP, and how we plan to share the resources we've been allocated. The Center for Integrative and Experiential Learning, formerly known as USC Connect, the title of our 2011 Quality Enhancement Plan, has an established infrastructure to support Experience by Design. As Amber mentioned, since 2013, we've supported our university's signature Graduation with Leadership Distinction program and have 3 advisors who work with our GLD students. We also have 3 additional staff members who will be working with the implementation and support of the QEP: Amber, our administrative coordinator, Zach James, and me. And with a new budget dedicated to the QEP, we're planning to hire an outreach and assessment manager whose focus will be on marketing to our identified populations each year, implementation, including organized grants for students, and assessment for the QEP. Next slide, please. Because our office is so closely connected to the university's strategic plan, especially in regard to experiential learning, we recently received funding to hire a new staff member to help promote experiential learning across the university. This person will be working with faculty and staff on the logistics of field trips and beyond the classroom engagements, helping them plan and execute these experiences, and will manage a database, which you can see here, along with a new website that describes the benefits of getting engaged for current and prospective students, with all the engagements available across the university to help them find ways to get involved. So you can see here examples of the website, and then search engagement would lead you to the new database. In addition to working with partners and students on GLD, we encourage faculty and staff to submit courses and co-curricular experiences with at least 45 hours of experiential learning activities to our offices for approval. Once approved, these experiences appear on the My U of SC Experience co-curricular transcript, along with students' other recognized beyond the classroom engagements. Okay, next slide. So here's an example of the co-curricular transcript. So here, I don't know if you can see it, but students have a record of what they've done outside the classroom to reflect on with an advisor, a staff member, or on their own. They can plan engagements for future years, and then once they graduate, can submit their My U of SC Experience co-curricular transcript to grad schools and employers to showcase what they've done outside the classroom while at U of SC. These are a few examples of our current infrastructure for Experience by Design, and we also have several plans for how we will use our new resources for the QEP. Next slide, please. First of all, marketing, which is threefold. We need to speak to the importance of engaging and reflecting for personal growth, community involvement, and career readiness. We need to advertise the engagements possible on campus and encourage faculty and staff to register what they're doing and to develop more engagements to provide students with as many searchable options as possible. We currently collaborate with many partner offices around campus and at the Palmetto College campuses who assist us in marketing GLD and encouraging their students to participate. And we'll continue to work with them to market experience design as they have access to a variety of student populations and are more able to tap into their wants and needs beyond the classroom. This will include advertising through social media and websites, highlighting student engagement and success stories, working with advisors through our University Advisors Network, and establishing more relationships with community partners. Our main goal, of course, is for all students to be able to engage in a variety of beyond the classroom experiences, such as the examples you see here on the screen: field work, study abroad, internships, research. To enable this, we'll offer rolling grants throughout the year that students can apply for to help make it possible for them to engage beyond the classroom, such as grants for passport fees, transportation to an internship, materials for research, conference fees, and study abroad fees. Next slide, please. In addition to these opportunities for students, we will also work with faculty and staff to provide them with the training, encouragement, and funding to provide more engagements and reflection for their students. This past October, for example, we invited Dr. Patty Clayton, a leader in critical reflection, to conduct a workshop for faculty and staff and introduce her DEAL model, which we'll be using in the QEP, and to discuss ways to implement it in experiential learning. We are also currently partnering with the Center for Teaching Excellence to offer a certificate program on integrative and experiential learning, as well as grants to selected participants for them to revise or develop a course that implements integrative or experiential learning strategies. We look forward to being able to offer more of these events and grants and to establishing a community of practice for faculty and staff to provide a space where they can share their own experiences and achievements in regard to experiential learning and reflection. Next slide, please. We realize that these beyond the classroom experiences are not easy to organize and take time to facilitate. Faculty and staff sometimes need help with logistics. They need funding, they need connections within the community, and they need time to prepare the engagement and accompanying reflection. We plan to assist with these needs through curricular and program grants to encourage faculty and staff to create more of these opportunities, funding for the actual engagement, and help with logistics for planning through our new position. We'll also be purchasing assessment technology to help us track all of these initiatives. We are so excited to embark on this next journey of experiential learning for all students at U of SC and the Palmetto College campuses. And we look forward to seeing what our students will be able to solve and accomplish. As we have seen this past year especially, it is essential for us to develop empathetic graduates who are able to listen to and understand others with different perspectives. These skills may be learned in the classroom, but are then reinforced beyond it. We sincerely hope that by engaging beyond the classroom during their time with us, students will become more engaged with their communities post-graduation, more resilient and flexible team members, better problem solvers, and leaders in their field. I'd now like to turn it over to Dr. Sandra Kelly, Vice Provost and Dean of Undergraduate Studies. Thank you again for being here today to embark on this journey with us.
Thank you, Laura, for the introduction, and it has been my honor as Vice Provost and Dean of Undergraduate Studies, along with Dennis Pruitt, Vice President for Student Affairs, to really be the co-sponsors of the development of the QEP Experience by Design. We started this process in about 2018, at least the beginning discussions. And it was striking as we started to meet with our various constituent groups, our faculty, our staff, our students, and the different offices that might be contributing to the QEP, about how much enthusiasm there was about the first QEP, how much respect there was for engaging students with graduation with leadership distinction, and an understanding of how the reflection piece in the e-portfolio was particularly powerful. Our first QEP was so successful that there was really not a lot of debate about the importance of student engagement. No debate about the value of beyond the classroom experience, whether that be curricular or co-curricular. There was widespread agreement that integrative learning has led to a great improvement in the value proposition of what an education at the University of South Carolina on the Columbia and Palmetto campuses can be. that was exciting. So as we began our discussions, it was, okay, what is the next step? How do we move forward? And I remember one of our earliest meetings, there was a statement by somebody about broadening and deepening what we're doing. Let's go the next step. And that was really, in some ways, the guiding principle. How do we make it better of what we had already done? We as a university rely on data and make decisions in part based on data. From our own data gathered through our own amazing Beyond the Classroom database, which we will be discussing in more detail tomorrow, as well as from the Center for Integrative and Experiential Learning, we knew that there were certain student groups that weren't engaging at levels comparable to the rest of our student body. We also knew those same student groups were not retained or graduating at the rates of the rest of the student body. So reaching out to students from low-income backgrounds, reaching out to students from underrepresented minorities, reaching out to our great transfer students or our male students in an intentional way generated enthusiasm in all of our many town halls and meetings that was really very impressive. As Amber mentioned as well, time and again we heard about graduate students really wanting to develop better professionally in a higher quality way, particularly our master's students. So these bubbled up in our meetings and really started to inform what we were going to do. So we also have a lot of faculty and staff involved in graduation with leadership distinction and engaging in helping students learn how to reflect on their experiences and integrate it across their entire career. It was a common theme in much of what we discussed that this was really hard for our students and that maybe we should ask them to do it earlier in their career rather than as seniors. And really get them to build up to that skill, to deepen that learning across their entire other undergraduate career. So really trying to get students to engage earlier and also reflect earlier. Experience by design was mentioned, or was named really to inform or to reflect that intentionality with respect to what we want our students to do. They need to come to U of SC on the Columbia or Palmetto campuses and be intentional in how they avail themselves to all the many, many opportunities that we have to offer, so that when they leave here, they are ready to be lifelong learners. They are ready for a career. And we know, in fact, from data, they have a wonderful, positive view of their undergraduate career. So the shared excitement about experience by design across the many offices in both academic and student affairs divisions, across faculty, students, and staff cannot be overstated. That will be crucial as we look to impact our students' experience. That shared excitement will be the bedrock of the collaboration across the many units of the university. I think all people involved, it's all about the students. It's all about improving their experience going forward. It is not an accident that our recent strategic plan, A Pathway to Excellence, emphasizes both the student experience generally, as well as outreach to diverse student groups, and also the experience of our graduate students. The strategic plan also includes objectives that focus on furthering the collaboration between student and academic affairs to develop more ways for our students to engage. That's not an accident. It reflects our values. It reflects who we are as a university. Experience by design is the next significant step in how to maximize the student experience for all students on all campuses. Experience by design is a plan of action that we are very proud of. It includes details of how we developed the QEP topic, how we relied upon data as well as research on best practices to really develop the meat of what we are going to do in the next foreseeable future. I was about to say 5 years, but that's not. The point is we are doing this as a culture change at the university. And it really, the QEP talks a lot about the implementation, which Laura went over. We have really exciting plans for implementation, increasing reflection, and using it in a more intentional way. We, of course, also have an assessment plan. We expect to be nimble. We will do programs that work. If we institute something perhaps that is not as impactful, we will change those goals. So we are excited to actually move forward. So I and our entire team are very much looking forward to discussing the details, doing a deep dive into experience by design with the SACS team. With that, we'll finish and move on to actually the playing of our alma mater by the music faculty, is my understanding. Thank you.
Children